The death toll from Tropical Storm Anna in Mozambique and Malawi has risen to 12. Authorities are continuing to assess the full impact of the storm that swept through southern Africa on Monday. Mozambique says 8 people have been killed, 54 injured and close to 1,000 evacuated. That's in the past 24 hours. In neighbouring Malawi, at least 4 fatalities have been reported thus far.
Ndikuyalula zonse nyumba folo yapo iyo ndisi yabwera mvulayi yamene yadzambweza yaononga dziwira zinthu zambiri yadza nyumba zonse
madzi amene abwerera kunoko abwera madzi oyipa kwambiri nyumba zatha kugwa yero komanso mavuto a njala ili mkati.
Let's get you the latest from Mozambique. We're joined by Clara Fresone from UNICEF. Thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon. What do we know about what is happening in the country today, and which parts of the country have been affected?
So the cyclone hit Mozambique on the 24th of January and has affected the central and northern part of the country, 5 provinces in total. And currently we estimate, well, the government estimates there are more than 45,000 people affected, and more than 4,000 people have been displaced and currently hosted in temporary accommodation.
What are the immediate needs of these people?
Well, obviously the immediate needs at the moment is, of course, food and non-food items, but we also need to bear in mind that among 45,000 people, more than half of them, more than 22,000 are women and children. So you might have also, there's a large number of children. The government is currently estimating 27,000 children that from Monday will have no place to learn. The school year starts on Monday. And these children, the schools have been destroyed or they've been damaged. They won't be able to sit for the classes starting from Monday. Of course, you know, all immediate needs besides food and non-food items, also access to safe and clean water, shelter, and of course, you know, access to nutrition and health services for the most vulnerable people, including children.
And on that point of damage to infrastructure as a result of this cyclone, you speak of schools and how this has displaced children. What of health centers and what is being done in terms of maybe capacitating these spaces that people will then be occupying, not to become further places of more infections?
We have, well, as UNICEF and all with other UN agencies and with the Mozambican government, we have been on the ground since the beginning to respond to the emergency, just exactly for this, to make sure that there is no spread of diseases, that people have access to safe water, and also to provide immediate medical assistance. Right now, we are seeing, of course, the figures are changing. And they are likely to increase in the next few days. So we will see how the situation unfolds in the northern and central part of the country.
Right. In the northern and central parts, are there some places that are not accessible? What then happens to those people? Do we know?
At the moment, for what I have heard from colleagues on the ground, there are places that are only accessible. Some colleagues are actually going to parts of Tete in the northern part of the country by helicopter. And I know that the government is trying to reach those people, the most, the furthest people, the ones that have no access to basic services. And so far, we just know that we are in the process of reaching those people.
Right. In terms of fatalities, we are reporting that 8 people have unfortunately lost their lives. Are you able to give us an update? Is the number still at 8?
At the moment, the number as of yesterday was 18 people have died and 99 people have been wounded. Of course, like I said, you know, the figures change every day. I think the most important right now is really the sheer number of people that really need support the displaced people and the people whose home have been lost, their crops, their livelihoods have been lost. Those are the sheer numbers that are supposed to increase in the next few hours or even in the next few days. And also what's most important to highlight, this is the rainy season in Mozambique, and we are expected to have more extreme weather events. There is currently another storm forming in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Madagascar. So if there is other storms or heavy rains coming, this will only worsen the situation and make the people more vulnerable currently.
Please let's expand on that, because it leads to my next question of whether the worst is behind the people of the north and central regions. I beg your pardon. And with this anticipated storm that is forming, if it does make landfall in Mozambique, do we know which parts, and are there perhaps forward-thinking measures in terms of what to do to mitigate the effects should it make landfall?
So what we know is just that there are like I said, it's the rainy season, so we see more and more of these storms and these extreme weather events, also due to global warming and climate change, the direct impact of that. What it is on the ground, usually government has got in place a system whereby they have a warning system whereby they inform the population through radio, through SMS, with messages about how to take shelter or how to protect their homes from winds and water. But like I said, this is an example. Mozambique in the last 3 years has seen two very important cyclones. Let's not forget about Cyclone Idai and Kenneth in 2019. They have affected 2.5 million people, and they only happened in the span of 6 weeks. So we do not know if the worst is over. We can just say that this is the situation right now. It might get worse. There might be more rains. There might be more winds. There might be another storm. But we are trying to do the utmost to support the government to be able to support children affected and their families at the moment.
Cleara Fesone, we really appreciate you making time to give us an update in terms of what is happening in Mozambique. Today, at least, she is with UNICEF.